So Shazam was kind of a friendly old time, wasn't it? There was a Star Wars trailer, people have thoughts on it. And Leica made a new film, which, surprise, surprise, is like really nice. I hope people see this one. Been to see it twice, both times with kind of a small audience. But alas, this is not a film review show. Is it? Like, I'm genuinely asking, I don't know what this is, aside from maybe a cry for help. But hey, anyway, this week we're here to talk about, as an academic would say, a spooky dooky film. Get your spookies, you get your dookies, you want to put them in a bowl, you want to mash the bowl, put them in a film. So yeah, let's get this out of the way. I don't really think of A Quiet Place as a horror film. In my opinion, it's more concerned with thrills and suspense in more of a Hitchcockian tradition. And I know that Hitchcock kind of made like the horror film, but like looking at this film, it seems to have more in common with these and this than these and this. All of this to say, A Quiet Place, Get Out, Crimson Peak, I think of these all as kind of like diet horror, and I don't use that as a pejorative. Not everyone wants a full fat rated 18 horror. Maybe you want all of that horror flavor and zero sugar. And this film has got flavor for days. So what's the film about? A family fights to survive in a world where any sound they make could be their last. Ooh. Okay, we're going to be talking spoilers, so maybe go watch the film. I also recommend watching it with other people so you can feel the full effect of the silence. Invite some friends over, put it on, do not bring any loud snacks. Don't do it, don't risk it, it's just not worth it. You can have hummus, but that's it. And no breadsticks or carrot sticks, just pasting hummus into your mouth with your bare hands. Anyway, so what's the film about? Family and survival and communication. And also that feeling you get like when your stomach drops out on a roller coaster.
Clean up on aisle... me.
Oh, I get it. All the crisps haven't been looted because they're too loud to eat. Aren't you a clever film? First off, this film contains one of my favourite things. No, not that. Okay, definitely not that. A 90-minute runtime. 90-minute runtime. It's a film. You can watch it in 90 minutes. 90 minutes. 90 film. Remember when films were 90 minutes? You get in, you tell your story, you get me out before the sun goes down because I don't want to have nightmares. Thank you very much. What I think makes this film special is the mentality that went into making it. I do think that this is a wonderful example of a director seeing something in a script and connecting with it heart and soul, and using the film to fully explore that concept as much as they can, while still letting the audience have some fun.
No! God! God, please, no! No!
The other reason this film works so well? Yeah, pretty much. Hey, remember when Emily Blunt delivered one of the most engaging blockbuster performances of the year? No, you don't? Yeah, because she delivered two of them. A premise that is this outwardly gimmicky could have really ended up getting waist deep in spectacle and still come up short in emotional payoff. And I personally feel like the film serves up a pretty hefty dose of both because it keeps coming back to the central concept: how far would you go to keep your children safe? And we go beyond physical safety to look at what real security feels like. Very quickly, I just want to clap back at a few things. Why don't they just live by the waterfall? Did you see any invisible waterfall houses? Did you know that building a house is kind of loud and there's a lot of considerations to choosing one, even in the end times? Why is there sand everywhere when they could just tie towels to their feet? Because the idea is not to walk anywhere, it is to have a set routine and specific places that you can go. If you feel like you can go anywhere, you will probably end up in the wrong place. How come the kid doesn't know that a loud sound would muffle a quieter sound? That's how sound works. Pretty sure that if he thought about it, he would figure it out. But if you've lived your childhood being taught, do not make a sound or you will die, and the last person that tested that did not get a second chance, you're probably not going to start messing around. These people are alive for a few reasons. They have rules, they follow the rules, they don't get sloppy, but there's another vital component which I think people tend to miss when they're talking about this film. These people are still here because, for better or worse, they've made this version of life normal. Oh, look, a house on a farm. Well-known symbol of a peaceful family and quiet domesticity. Everybody working hard together on a farm. Everybody chips in and does the farm. Is how it's the farm. Stop that immediately. Point is, they live this fantasy. The wife still gardens. The kids play board games. These people are smart enough to know that when your only concern is existing from day to day, you lose your humanity. You become an animal. And we've seen what happens to animals here. So yeah, in the end times, apparently Monopoly is just as vital to our existence as, like, clean water. Who would have thought? This message was brought to you by the Monopoly Man. Monopoly. Sorry about the divorce. Anyway, we're going to talk about why this doesn't fully work after a word from our sponsors. This message is brought to you by Good News. Hey, do you spend all your time fixating on your own insecurities and shortcomings? Do you worry constantly that they're all people see when they look at you? Well, have I got news for you? Have I? Most people are too busy getting along with their lives to notice. And when you remember that we're all just self-conscious meat sacks, walking around trying not to be too nervous, things should get a little bit simpler. And I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but you could even use some of that new free time to actually focus on the things about yourself that you feel like might need to change instead of just fixating on the problem. If you want to. There are charities in the description that make videos like this possible because they make sure that people are alive to make them and watch them and stuff. So if you like those things, maybe consider giving them a little bit of time, attention, money, if you got it. It would really mean a lot to me. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get into why this film hits me right in the face. What are these people dealing with? Yes, but more importantly, internally. The story world is more an extension of their central problem, right? And I get the impression these people wouldn't be talking even if they could. We talked about family, but of course it's deeper than that. Let's talk about... You know the worst thing about the monsters? They don't even eat the people they kill. They just rip you apart because it's what they do. Losing a loved one is never easy. Never. There's no good way for it to happen. The world took someone from you, and it took a part of you with them, and that will never feel fair. And you're left with the horrible, exhausting, unrelenting thing that is grief. It haunts your positive moments and gives them this painful finality, and your negative memories start to burn as you're left to relive every detail of them over and over again. And it will live in you just below the surface until you can't take it anymore. Which is why the second these characters can open their mouths, they all almost immediately go to...
Do you blame them?
I can still feel the weight in my arms.
Still love her, right?
I could have carried.
These people can't talk because it will destroy them to say these things, in so many ways. To open up about feelings of loss and anger and guilt is not something that most people are equipped to do. But here's the thing about grief, and I'm going to try and use my I statements here. I don't think grief just goes away with time. I think that's something we say to make things seem a little bit more bearable, like we can just wait this out and it will all be fine. But I feel like anyone who's lost someone important in a painful way will tell you that's not really the case. Time plays a major role in numbing things, in giving you a degree of distance, and in that giving you a degree of clarity. But there comes a time where you are going to have to face the monster that you've been left with, and that's not a passive action. It takes courage and it takes work. I think the reason that I love this film so much is that it tells you that when the time comes to face up to it, it just so happens that the thing you've been scared to do this whole time is the thing that's going to save you. Okay, that was it. We did another one. They did another one. Thank you for giving this a look. More importantly, thank you to the people who donated in the last video. Genuinely made my day, week. It really meant the world to me. Somebody asked in the comments of the last video, hey, how can we support you? That's really sweet and I appreciate it, but the answer for now is don't. If you have money to spare, please give it to some of the charities. If anything, I'd rather you tell me what I can do to help support you, support them. Does that make sense? I hope you're enjoying the photos. Please tell me what you're doing with them. I'm not going to do it in this video, but I'm going to try and do it again for the next one. Oh, scratch that. Changed my mind. No, took a bunch more photos. One of them looks like this. That's a good one. Proud of that one. Don't know which one I'm going to choose yet. Point is, if you would like to see them, there's quite a few. You can. It's very easy. Donate £2 to one of the charities, any of them, in the description. And then send me that confirmation on Instagrams or Twitters, or crash through my window with a SWAT team and a piece of paper. And I will send you a link to download them, and you can put them on your walls, or you can use them as phone backgrounds, or you could make them into little paper airplanes and throw them at children trying to get them in the ear. I'll also be doing thank yous to people at the end of the next video, if that is something you want. Thank you for being around, we appreciate you. I'm gonna get back to pasting hummus into my mouth. I don't get ASMR, but if this is working for you, sure, okay.